My first encounter with Donnie was actually while I was still working for MoDOT. MoDOT, the general contractor, the Cardinals, were all having a conflict about getting the job done. And Donnie came in and pretty much led the meeting the entire time. For some, they would think the painters are the lower tier on the job site. Donnie pretty much controlled the meeting from beginning to end. I've known him since then in 2003 when I met him, and I have to say I see that every day.
I knew DT from being around the family and all that, but this was like the first time actually having a conversation with him. He said, "Hey, I want to offer you a job. Are you going to be a painter?" And I'm like, "Donnie, I appreciate it, but I don't know anything about painting." He said, "You'll figure it out. You'll learn it." I was at my lowest, and him coming in and offering me a job and believing in me and giving me the opportunity was, bar none, probably one of the best parts of my life.
I was at a dead-end job, not making much money, and ran into him, and he offered me a job. He said, "You can come work for me anytime." 2 weeks later, I show up in his office unannounced, and like, "Are you serious?" He was like, "Yeah, when you want to start?"
Oh, my interaction with Don Thomas started 30 years ago. He was working out of his house. I was his CPA, worked at a table underneath a couple of deer heads in the corner of his basement.
He asked me to come up to his house the next day because the business was out of the house then. We didn't have the building. He offered me a job and I took it. A couple days later, me and my wife go down to our old shop to pick up the truck. And my wife kind of looked at me like, the truck wasn't the best truck. The building wasn't the best building. And we're working out of the basement of Donnie's house. And I told her, I said, "Trust me, there's something about this guy." And I just believed in him.
Donnie was, in the best way to put it, kind of like another father figure. Growing up, I was always around. I was at family functions. I was going to Easter. I was going to Christmas. I was going to Thanksgiving. They just took me in, treated me as I was his flesh and blood.
What was it, 1995. So I met Josh and Don kind of at the same time. I played on a select basketball team with Josh, and Donnie, as generous as he is now, he was then and was the sponsor of the team. So of course we had our maroon TIC jerseys.
I've known the Thomas family for a long time. Didn't really see him much for the last few years. I had an opportunity to take a job here, and the first thing he asked me when I walked through the door is how my mom was doing. He just shows me that he actually cares.
He just randomly showed up one day in his Corvette, and it was my birthday. And he was like, "Come on, Matt, we're gonna go ride around in this." But I remember he had presents in the back too for me whenever we got done. It was definitely a cool day, a cool memory for my birthday that time.
I've been at Thomas since 2013, but I've known DT my whole life. I go anywhere they want me to because of him. Now, if I worked for somebody else, it'd probably be a little different. But he's such a great guy and gives back, and if he asks me to go anywhere in the country, I go.
Well, we grew up together in Horine, so we're Horine boys. Our families known each other for years. He lived right down the street from me. He changed my life. That New Year's Eve, which is Josh's birthday party, I can remember the day, the time when he walked up to me and said, "Brian, I want you to come take over this 401k. I know you'll do a good job and you'll have our best interest in mind. I wouldn't trade them for anything, and I would actually do it for free just because I love all those guys."
How charismatic he is and how much he seemed to really care about the people that worked for him was just the true draw. Money and all that was one thing, but I knew I wanted to work for someone that cared about the people that worked for him.
First impression, he was super casual and friendly. When you would meet a president, CEO of a company, you're like, "Stuffy old guy," but no, DT is a warm and friendly type of character and doesn't make anybody feel like they're left out or beneath him in any way.
DT is one of those people that listens to understand. In other words, when you're talking to him, he is focused on you. He wants to understand what you're saying. He has that ability to engage with people. And it's not necessarily what he says all the time, but what he does, the hours that he puts in. He always makes time for people, the way he gives to his community.
He's done so much for me, my career, and my family. I had no idea what painting application or anything to do with painting. He gave me a chance and a livelihood to provide for my family.
I've now been here my entire career. It's given me the ability to make decisions in my personal life that maybe I couldn't if I didn't know that I was working for a man who put his employees necessarily before his own well-being or his own clout or wealth.
You know how the saying is, my door is always open, and then some people will shut that door right after you walk out of the room. His door is really always open, and as you walk by, he's always saying hi. He'll call you in, just talk about family, just see how you're doing. He's very in tune with everything that's going on, so he'll ask about certain jobs that you didn't even really know were on his radar.
He always has an open door, and anytime there's something that you need help with or anything that you want to talk about with him, he's just always available.
The opportunities that he's given me, I probably maybe wouldn't have gotten at other places, but he believed in me. That's a huge deal. He believed in me more than I believed in myself, so I owe the man a lot.
He'll be the first to tell you. He'll say he's not the smartest. You definitely, when you talk to him, you'll get the impression he is. But he does say he likes to surround himself with smart people, and then he retains those people, whether it be friends, whether it be coworkers.
Integrity. Admits when he's wrong, which is very difficult for people to do. He admits to his weaknesses. However, he builds teams around him to ensure that his weaknesses do not affect those that he's trying to afford opportunity to and take care of.
I think he's strategic in who he tries to surround himself with. If you look at who's running around the company, it's long-term relationships.
Known him since I was 12, and I just turned 49, so started working for him October 17th of 93, and then I never worked for anybody else. I guess in less than 2 months it'll be 30 years.
With him treating you as family, he lets it be known that family is very important. I have 2 small children, so he's always asking how they're doing and making sure that my family life is great as well.
I think it comes down to the selflessness, the humbleness, knowing that there's loyalty and he has your back, and knowing that he'll do anything and everything for me or my family, and I'm gonna do the same for him.
I don't care how many guys we got going working here. We could have 200 guys going, and he knows where everybody's at. If I happened to stop into the office, he would know exactly where I was at and what was going on there and who I had.
To know basically every guy in the field's name. When they come in, he introduces himself on day 1 of orientation, and he still knows them whenever they come in 6 months down the road. It's very, very impressive.
We used to have about 75% of our employment was within 100 miles of Peewee, Missouri. Now that's down to 40. But he still knows their names, still talks to them when they come in for orientation. He can tell you who can blast, who can paint, who shows up, who doesn't.
He just exudes confidence, and when you're with him and you're on his team, you can't help but feel confident.
Made me a different person, that's for sure, and a better person. One thing he's always taught me is don't take a backseat to anyone. You believe in it, you fight for it, no matter what.
One of the 3 C's of credit is character, and that intangible that you only can understand deeply in the down times. And Don Thomas is somebody that answers the phone, answers the meeting request, puts what we call the skunk on the table in good times and in bad.
He's loyal, sometimes loyal to a fault, but he's very loyal, not only to his men, to his friends, to the community. He's one of the best guys that I know. You can call him and he'll do anything for you, give you the shirt off his back type guy.
Always been there from day 1. I would say Dad's been my best friend. Didn't take me long. The DT I know from my birth to today loves people, loves helping people.
I would describe Donnie as a very giving person. He cares for all of his Thomas family and gives so much time to everybody. He's just a great guy.
If you ask the question, is Donnie competitive, then you don't know Don Thomas. There is not a thing that Donnie does that he doesn't put 100% effort in, and he wants to win no matter what.
Competitive? This is a trick question here. Competitive?
Dad, competitive? I'd say ultra competitive.
Let's see, let's go back to Cancun when we played tennis for hours and he just would not give up. Hot, up on that rooftop. He just kept going and kept going and kept going and would not let me win.
Supposedly leisure sports such as golf or tennis or badminton or running sprints in the front yard. If he did not win the first match, it's because you were playing the best 2 out of 3. And if he doesn't win the second one, then it's 3 out of 5.
Donnie is extremely competitive in everything he does. If he loses, he will you'll play again until he wins.
We were, I'm gonna say 5th, 6th grade. Josh has a sleepover. We're wrestling around, kind of one of those dudes. The boys are wrestling, roughhousing. Don decides he wants to get in, throwing us around, manhandling us, having a great time. All 4 of us jump on at the same time. We're able to move them a little bit at that point because we're not tiny little kids anymore. And then all of a sudden you kick that second gear and didn't hesitate to rub us into the carpet.
Literally everything is a competition, and he's not afraid to put a little money on it either.
I can think the other day I was on the backside of some dollars to him on the golf course. He likes to win.
Well, he does not like to lose at anything.
We'll be playing somewhere, and all of a sudden he'll hit a shot and it's not going the way he wants. You just quiet it up and you keep on driving. You're like, oh, he's pissed.
He is such a competitor, and I love it. You know, being a competitor all my life, I love the competition. He's a real good golfer. The only advantage he has on me is he can putt. And once I learn that, he will never ever beat me again.
He is not going to lose, does not want to lose at anything. He's going to work till he wins, until he proves you wrong that he can do it, and he will ultimately succeed.
I will not comment on whether or not Don Thomas plays psychological games. I don't even want to get into that.
No, he's real smooth with it. Like, you don't even know he's talking trash until after you leave his office or get done seeing him. You get back in your truck and you're driving home or wherever, and you're like, man, he got me. He got me.
We can be shooting baskets at his house and he still wants to beat me. You know, so with his limited athletic ability, he does a great job.
It's still wonderful to see that still live in him, that every day he wants to compete. It wasn't just then, it's not just today, it's as long as I've known that man. All you gotta do is challenge him and he'll let you know. He's ready for it.
Can picture the leadership versus management pictorial that's out there with the rock and the leaders pushing the rock and the managers staying on top of it. DT pushes the rock. He pushes our culture. He wants to stay on the front end of the industry. He wants to stay about the people, about family.
Just the knowledge and investment he's made in me. I know he does a lot on a big stage, but he does a lot on a small stage too. He invests in a lot of people, certifications and training and opportunities.
He definitely strives to make sure that we get better every single day. Let's not be behind in the industry. Let's be in front of everyone. Make sure everyone's going home safely. Just make sure we're doing it the right way, not cutting corners and trying to be better, trying to leave a legacy behind and make the industry way better.
He uses a phrase a lot that there's really 2 kinds of people in the world. There's givers and there's takers. He's gonna always be caught giving.
Donnie's a giver. Family, friends, his community. I don't know what it is about him. He just has this drive to make a difference.
You know, one of his mantras is go home better than you arrived, and he means it. People need assistance to get back home because a family member is ill and they don't have the money to do it. He's gonna pay for you to get there.
He's just a good person. He gives back to the community all the time. I kind of feel proud to be a part of his team because I think that he's admired and respected by many.
I don't know if I know a person who wants to give as much as he gives to others. You know, we do these charity events where we paint at high schools, and he's there with those kids. Doesn't shy away from anybody. He's right there in the thick of it.
Donnie's extremely benevolent, and it kind of goes with his competitive streak a little bit too, especially at charitable auctions. In the recent past, Donnie has put his name on every item. I think the last one we went to, if there were 20 auction items, Donnie walked away with about 17 or 18.
He just is always giving to different organizations, anyone in the community, schools, whatever is needed, he's willing to help out and donate.
He tells me all the time you can't outgive God, and that's what makes him special. He not only works really hard, but he works really hard at giving back too, and giving back to everyone.
I think it's proud. It's one of those things that you have an owner that leads by example, doing whatever he can, whenever he can for people. It not only brings everybody up to that level, but it also provides an example of what you strive to be every day.
I feel proud because I know everyone around here knows what Don has done for this community.
Donnie is always there. If you call him, his door is always open for everybody. He's a giver, that's for sure. He gives from his heart, and I'm just so proud of him.
Donnie, congratulations for everything you've done. One of the most selfless men I've ever met. Just a true leader, honestly. Nobody else I'd rather have as the head of our company.
Donnie, congratulations. I couldn't think of a more deserving person.
All I can say is thank you. I appreciate all that you've done and continue to do for me, my family, and love you from the bottom of my heart.
You deserve it. You deserve any accolades you get. I love you. Congratulations.
I think without question to start out with, thank you. And not just for the opportunities that you've given me, but maybe more so, thank you for making me a better person.
DT, I just want to congratulate you on your achievements, and you deserve everything you get. You're a special person, and I love you, buddy.
Donnie, you have been a fantastic mentor to me. Everyone here loves you, and we appreciate everything you do for us, and congratulations.
DT, from me and my family, we're very proud of you, and thank you for everything you've done for us, and we love you.
DT, congratulations. I just wanted to let you know we love you and we appreciate you.
Congratulations. I can't think of anyone more deserving. It's an honor to work for Thomas Industrial Coatings.
You've changed my life and the people around you, and you continue to, so wouldn't work anywhere else, and we love you to death.
You are one of the most caring people I've ever met in my life, and I am very thankful to be here and be part of your family.
Don, congratulations on your award. I love you. You've been a father, you've been a mentor, you've been a boss. I'm glad to be associated with you, and I'm glad to be on your team.
I just appreciate everything you've done for me in my life and the investments you made in me. Honestly, been the most influential person in my life.
Hey DT, congratulations on receiving the award. Well deserved. I'm privileged to call you one of my friends. I love you, man. Congratulations.
You've had a huge impact on my life. You get what you sow, man, and just all the positive that you've done in the industry for the people and your competitors, and just would say that I love you.
DT, you've changed my life. I say that from the bottom of my heart. Anytime, day or night, that you can call me and I'd be there for you.
Don, you are a brother from another mother, man, and I love you. And congratulations on the award. It's well deserved. And please keep up the great work.
Donnie, I couldn't think of a better recipient of the William Smith Distinguished Service Award. You've stood up for your company, your people, our industry. Congratulations, and be well, my friend.
Dad, I just want to tell you, I'm proud to work for you. My dad's one of my best friends, and to get to call him my employer is even better. I wouldn't trade it for anything. We've had our ups and downs through the years, but I still got your back all the way to the end.
DT, congrats on your Distinguished Service Award. Your story is the greatest legacy that you'll leave all of your friends, your family, your enemies in this industry. You've definitely distinguished yourself from others for a multitude of reasons, but the number one reason is you're just a good-hearted human who came from less, that made more, but wants those around him to come with him. Continue to not outgive God. We all appreciate you. We love you. And can't say anything other than thank you and congratulations.
Donnie, I am so proud of you. I love you so much, and congratulations on all the hard work and dedication you have and commitment you have done for the whole business and everybody. I love you.